So now we get to the last building block of distributed ledger technology, which can be generalized in a way to organize and structure transaction. In the case of a blockchain, blocks are used, but in a general sense, it's just a way to structure the transactions that we talked about previously. So blocks are basically composed of validated transaction in an append only mode. So as transaction gets validated, they are collected into what we call block, and a block is formed. And then when we get another pool of transaction, they are validated. Again, a block is created as a shape around them, and that block is then chained to the previous block using some mathematical mechanism that brings in a lot of security. And we'll get a chance to talk about it in more details at some point in our presentation or in future presentations, future courses. I would like to insist here that this is a really important component of any distributed ledger technology. Um, the need to structure transaction pushes us to come up with actually the big structure of any distributed ledger technology in terms of data, how we organize data. We've talked about blockchain specifically here, which is an implementation of distributed ledger technologies, but there are several ways in which uh, those transactions are organized. The end goal here is to make sure that they are easily accessible. Personally, um, to me, blockchain is a little bit limited in the sense that uh, it's a linear structure, and in general, when you're building, such systems, you want to bring in some level of complexity, which, after all, is the reality that we have in nature. There are other structures that we will talk about more in details when we get further into the course. But just as an introduction here, I can mention directed acyclic graphs as a structure as opposed to blockchain, which is a linked list. As you can see, we have a list of blocks that are linked, so chained together. And we also have hypergraphs, which is the generalization of the concept of a directed acyclic graph, and many other structure to organize transaction within a distributed ledger network that we will get a chance to talk about at some point. Um, this is the end of this second module, the fundamental building block of blockchain. And I want to introduce you very quick to our next module, which will be about going through the characteristic of both the functional and emergent characteristic of um, of blockchains or distributed ledger technologies in general.